I logged into a late-night Zoom interview for a company I'd never heard of. Halfway through the call, I realized the person interviewing me was inside my apartment. I was desperate for work, unemployed for 6 months, barely scraping by. So when I got an email from a recruiter offering a fully remote job at a company called Delmare Solutions, I didn't think twice. It looked legit. Basic website, professional email address. They offered decent pay and flexible hours. The catch? The only available interview slot was 11:30 p.m. We're based overseas, they said. Weird, but not a deal breaker. The Zoom invite came through. No camera icon for them, just video. Off. No profile pic, just the name, interview room 7. Okay, creepy, but I needed the job. When I joined, my camera was already on, but theirs wasn't. I greeted them. No response, just silence. Then the chat box pinged. Please turn on your microphone. We need to verify your voice. Again weird, but I did it. I introduced myself, stated my background. The screen stayed black. Then another ping. Look directly into the camera and say your full name 3 times. I hesitated, but again desperation. So I did. I waited. Then finally a voice. Robotic, slightly distorted, like a voice changer. Thank you, Jason. We've seen you before. We remember. My stomach dropped. I'm sorry, what? This isn't your first interview? You've applied before. You forgot? That wasn't true. I'd never heard of Delmare Solutions until 2 days ago. I started to speak, but then something changed. My camera feed glitched. For a second, I saw my own face, but not in real time. In the feed, I was sitting completely still, blank expression, unblinking, like a wax figure of myself. I looked behind me, empty room, nothing out of place. The voice returned. You left your door unlocked. I froze. I hadn't told them I lived alone. I muted myself and opened my phone, checked my front door camera. It was offline. When I looked back at the screen, my duplicate feed was smiling. Not me dotted. It was smiling. I yanked the laptop shut. Total silence. I turned around. Every door was still locked. Windows closed. I called a friend to stay the night. Told them it was a weird scam call. Tried to forget. Until the next morning when I googled Delmare Solutions. No results. Not a single hit. The website was gone. The domain no longer existed. Even the confirmation email had disappeared from my inbox, like it was never sent. That would have been enough to shake me until I opened my laptop that afternoon. The Zoom app was still running, and the feed was still live, except now. I wasn't in the frame. My bedroom was, from the inside, like the laptop had been moved, and on the screen, a figure standing in my doorway, still, watching. Then it slowly walked toward the laptop and ended the call. I slammed the laptop shut again and shoved it in my closet. No more screens, no more interviews. I didn't care if I starved, I was done. But that night, my smart TV turned on by itself. Volume muted, just flickering visual static mixed with broken video frames. And on the screen, my face, not live, not recent. It was the version from the interview. UNBLINKING.blank.smiling. Then a new scene appeared. My bedroom empty. But the closet door slowly creaked open from the inside. That was enough. I left the apartment that night, booked a cheap motel an hour away. No electronics, no Wi-Fi, just silence. The first night, I actually slept. But on the second night, something tapped on the motel window around 3:12 a.m. 3 times. Tap. When I finally built up the courage to check, nothing was there. Just a note slipped under the door, written in block letters, interview complete. Welcome to the network. I drove back home that morning. The laptop was still in the closet, still off. But next to it was a freshly printed photo. Me sitting at my desk. From behind, the shot perfectly framed, but in the reflection of my laptop screen, something else was standing beside me. Not quite human. Too long to thin, no face. Only the outline of a suit. a smile that stretched too far. Since then, my webcams don't work. Not on my phone, not on any device, because now, whenever I try to record myself, someone else appears in the footage, and they're always closer than they were before. Last night, I turned on the Zoom app again just to check. There was one meeting running, unlabeled, locked, but the number beside the participants icon, too.